And welcome, folks. Want to know to a brand new playthrough called Final Fantasy 3. Copyright 1994, Square Co. Ltd. Licensed by Nintendo. By the way, just for the record, this is not actually Final Fantasy 3. This is actually technically Final Fantasy 6, released as Final Fantasy 3 for the SNES. Nice music now. And yes, once again, I'm not going to sing it all the way through because it copyrights. But yeah, I mean, I gotta say though that it was ridiculous the way they did it. So the original Final Fantasy 3, we didn't get, was actually released to Japan. So this is actually Final Fantasy 6, even though they titled it as that on the cartridge for Final Fantasy 3. Long ago, the world of magic reduced the world to a scorched wasteland, and magic simply ceased to exist. 1,000 years have passed. Iron, gunpowder, and steam engines have been rediscovered, and high technology reigns. Ooh, I wonder what they're doing. But there are some who would enslave the world by reviving the dread, destructive force known as magic. So apparently this is bad, I guess. And this is the only game in the entire universe that actually has official kind of wise. It has magic tech. Can it be that those in power are on the verge of repeating a senseless and deadly mistake? Question mark. And there are many different versions of this game. They're all ultimately the same, except that there's quite a lot of differences. Like there's more cut scenes and stuff like that than there is in the original game. I've seen them. Fix it. There's the town. So yeah, which hard to believe an Ispert's been found intact there 1,000 years after the War of the Magi. Think it's still alive, says Vix. Which probably, judging from the urgency of our orders. So we don't even get a chance to say start. And this woman, this sorcerer, why is she here? Most of the versions say in this girl, I heard she fried 50 of our magic armored soldiers in under 3 minutes. Now I have delved into this game just a little bit. But, not to worry. The slave crown on her head robs her of all conscious thought, and she'll follow orders. Oh, that's not good. So, yeah, I do know a little bit of background of this. We'll approach from the east. Move out. Move out. So, who's in charge? I don't get it. Is it Vex or Wedge? I don't know. And Wedge is a commonly used name, so I don't know very much about this game, but I can tell you I've seen quite a bit here and there. So there have been things. Producer Hirobo Shokuichi. So we don't even get a chance to start the game. They don't by pressing start anyway. Director Yoshige Kaitsuchi. Okay, I think we'll just actually more read the Japanese names at the end. So prepare for that because this is gonna be a while. This is actually one of the greatest games. I have never developed too much into this game, just enough to know a little bit of the background, history, and all that. So apparently it's a bad thing, and to have magic. But I can see why. I mean, if only they could just do it where they condense it without capturing and draining the hell out of these summons, which yes, I do know about that. I haven't played the game long enough to do that, but I did find out a little bit of the background story about it. But yeah, apparently they drain the hell out of them until they supposedly die or something. I don't know. And then there's a lot of summons that get sacrificed, which absolutely makes no sense to me. So, this girl is mysterious. I can't tell you all about her, but apparently she's some kind of a princess. And also there's another version where she and this one dude fall in love. I don't remember his name, but in the original, she and this guy don't fall in love. They don't have a history or anything, which is really stupid. I mean, there's really not enough for them to have to go on for a romance, but apparently because of what he kind of does for her, ultimately makes her fall in love with him. I don't get it, but whatever. So, yeah, this is Final Fantasy 3, licensed by Nintendo, and so I don't know. Yeah. Okay, we seen that. So yeah, that was Final Fantasy. Actually, Why do I keep saying Final Fantasy 3? This is actually Final Fantasy 6. But by the time we got the actual release of the title, was where it had better cutscenes, better 3D. It all ends up to be the same, but it was on PlayStation. PlayStation is not the original, but it plays out just like the original. But it has more cutscenes to it. It really sucks, and what even more sucks is the love affair between a couple other characters I have heard about. I don't know, I didn't delve into that character. But it really sucks in my opinion. I mean, it really does. But I mean, the game itself is pretty freaking awesome from what I could tell. I mean, we're not considering the game. We're just talking about other aspect ratios, like the characters and stuff. The characters actually themselves are pretty awesome. I'll give you that much. It's not the characters I have a problem with. It's the whole rushed into the whole love story thing too fast. It's like, okay, you didn't have enough time, blah, blah, blah. You just didn't even have enough time to develop the whole idea for them to even be in a relationship, but they just rammed it right in there and just shove it down your throat like, yep, they're a couple. What? That's too soon. Too soon. I mean, I don't interfere with other people's romance and stuff, but when you do it too soon, you do it too soon. That's like rushing into marriage. Something you don't want to do. So, but other than that, this game is pretty freaking awesome. If I do say so myself. And even though this game has been done to death, and I don't know about Terra Enigma, but I know about this game. I haven't really looked up to find it, but some of the times I run across it and I'm like, I haven't even played it yet, so why would I want to watch your version when I want to play it myself, I mean, I'm not saying that they're doing bad, but really, this game has just been done to death. I'm not even doing this to put my own 2 cents in it, just the way that I want to play it with voices, and I think I do a pretty good job. I say I do it better than anybody else, but what do I know? I wouldn't say better than what the original voice actors they have in mind that actually pull off the role. Yeah, no, I'm not better than that. But I still am doing a pretty good job of it. So this game, I keep saying this game. Anyway, this game actually has a lot of good fundamentals that I've heard about. I haven't got into the specifics of that. But there's fundamentals I love about it, and then there's a lot of fundamentals I don't know. So, yeah. Okay, sorry about that. We're back now. Sorry about the technical difficulties there. In this case, it'd be technical difficulties I don't want to talk about, but what we're talking about here is more important anyway. Way more important than it. So yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of things I want to get delved into. I'm not exactly doing Final Fantasy in the right order anyway, because if I had, I should have started it out with Final Fantasy 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, 5, on to Well, actually, technically 6, because that's what it actually is. Again, it was released to us as 3 for the title only. The real original, believe it or not, for the 3 was not released to us ever until we got the Nintendo version of it. I mean, the Nintendo DS version. That's how we got the original play. Of Final Fantasy 3. The original Final Fantasy 3, unfortunately, we can't get a hold of for Super Nintendo unless you want to play the Japanese version of it, which I don't mind that it being Japanese. But, however, if I want to do it in English and both, I can always get a Nintendo DS. I believe that's what it is, somewhere on there. There's also other ports of it, but either way, I prefer that for the title of, because it fits it. This does not, because this is actually Final Fantasy 6. It's confusing, I know, but again, if you were living in the United States of America and you were as an American, you didn't know. You had no clue. None of us did, unfortunately. That's the unfortunate thing. The thing is that until later on, and when they finally revealed that, it was only exclusive to Japan. What? So you're telling me that instead of getting the actual Final Fantasy 3, we got 6 instead? Why don't you just title that? Well, because it was just easier that way. Instead of, skipping over a number. Okay, like they didn't skip over the number. They just forgot to add, or purposely forgot to put it on there as Final Fantasy 6 instead of Final Fantasy 3. So basically, they still had it in order, but not really, because really, if they had, they wouldn't have given us Final Fantasy 6 and put the title as on the cartridge as Final Fantasy 3. It's kind of dumb, and it kind of hits off as like Final Fantasy 2. They actually have like versions of Final Fantasy 4 that says Final Fantasy 2, and it's stupid. And then you got like, then you actually have Final Fantasy 2 that actually has the title on it. It kind of goes around like Final Fantasy 3. But the difference is that it's Final Fantasy 2, and it's the thing that they screwed up on was those things right there. Was Final Fantasy 6 being released to us in the title format only as Final Fantasy 3. And they also screwed up on Final Fantasy 4 having a title of Final Fantasy 2 or whatever. Or Final Fantasy. It's just crazy. So, but luckily we can get the original copies and all that. So we're all good here. Of that. So it's like they made 2 different versions, original and then exactly on the cartridge as Final Fantasy 4. And then they made one that was just like Final Fantasy 4, but the title was different. I mean, like instead of giving you one that was the actual one, which is stupid. There's also fan-made versions that play out the same way, but they have different kind of replacement of icons, which I will be going checking out. So, yeah. Anyway, this has been Final Fantasy 3, the first episode. So, check it out for more later on. This is another introduction video, and giving a little bit of a background history there. I don't do that very often for videos, unless I absolutely know beforehand, or, whatever reason. I don't know. Because I can. Anyway, that's that, and I will see you all later. Bye-bye.